Well, we got that big casting report for Avengers Doomsday, but there are some big names missing. So we're going to take a couple minutes to dive into who's missing and why I think they're missing, because some pretty big Marvel names were not included in the list today, and we've heard multiple times they'll be part of this project. Well guys, we got that massive report from Marvel earlier today about the cast for Avengers Doomsday. There were 27 names announced, and there were some huge surprises, including former X-Men like James Marsden, Ian McKellen, and Patrick Stewart, not to mention Alan Cummings. But I know I was not the only one to notice there's some pretty big MCU characters that were not part of this list, and some names I was expecting to see that were not included, so what's going on? Well, first and foremost, let's dive in a little bit to who's missing, because on this list, there were some major characters that weren't included. Chris Evans' version of Captain America, Mark Ruffalo's Hulk, Jeremy Renner and Haley Steinfeld's Hawkeye, Scarlett Johansson, which may or may not be coming back, Haley Atwell, Hugh Jackman, Ryan Reynolds, Brie Larson, Tiona Paris, Benedict Cumberbatch, how do we do this without Doctor Strange, Star-Lord, Elizabeth Olsen, Don Cheadle, Tessa Thompson, Catherine Newton, Tatiana Maslany, and most importantly, Tom Holland's Spider-Man. Now, I do believe all or most of these characters will be part of Secret Wars, but I am a little concerned they're not part of Doomsday. Now, on the upside, Marvel did include a lot of these new heroes and new characters to be part of the Avengers. There were a couple returning characters like Chris Hemsworth's Thor. But I think Marvel is definitely going out of their way to kind of showcase a new team of heroes. And this is probably a really smart move on their part to ensure that down the road, well, Marvel Studios has the ability to swap out team members. Now, Avengers Doomsday is kicking off production really soon, and I'm going to be really clear. I suspect we will see one or several of these actors somehow make their way to the UK and will be part of the film. But let's not tie any expectations to that. I think Marvel is scaling this project up purposefully. I think the Russo brothers are developing this 2-part story, or maybe even a 3-part story with Spider-Man jammed in the middle, and that overall story with this many characters has got to be a massive challenge. Remember, the Russo brothers joked about having 67 heroes in the first Endgame film, and although there really wasn't 67 named heroes, well, at the end of the movie, we got hordes of characters that weren't part of the general MCU but were there for the final showdown. First one comes to mind for me is Howard the Duck. So Marvel obviously is okay with introducing or giving small or bit parts. Now, I also think Marvel is maintaining surprise. They don't want to lose that element for this film. And honestly, guys, characters like Hugh Jackman's Wolverine kind of fill that slot perfectly, and with so many X-Men as part of the film, him in particular, I think, is going to be part of the project. Now, as for some of those core Avengers like Brie Larson's Captain Marvel, Mark Ruffalo's Hulk, or Jeremy Renner's Hawkeye, well, I think they're being excluded purposefully. We want to be able to establish a new Avengers team, and these characters not being part of that, I think, are pretty critical. Now, what Marvel does in the next couple of weeks, we're going to watch really closely. But with everybody talking about all the characters that were in the movie, I thought taking a couple minutes out to talk about who's not in the movie was definitely worthwhile. Now, with all this said, I'm super curious, guys, on what you think and which one of these major characters you think is a hole that has to be filled. I know many of you were expecting Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman to return. What about Tom Holland, Spider-Man, or even some multi-generational characters like the Hulks or the Hawkeyes? This is not a bridge we've crossed before, so Marvel is obviously balancing all of these details. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Now, before you take off though, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and ring the bell for all the updates. We do daily videos and we want to be your place for all the Marvel and DC news, but we're going to bring it to you truthfully and transparently so you're really in the know.